Hello students, Mr. John here. Welcome to today's lesson. Today we're talking about Hinduism. So, in terms of origin, Hindu is actually a mixture of beliefs. It's really been changing and keeps changing for thousands of years. But one might say it was born from the faith of an ancient people living within India called the Aryans. Now we'll learn about them later in the year when we learn about ancient India, but they migrated into India, and what was their religion ended up mixing with other ancient Indian religions, and it really created the sort of fluid compilation of beliefs that is Hinduism. So I actually have these pretty awesome graphics on all these Hindu ideas. 15% of the world's population is Hindi. Very exciting. Hinduism has developed over the past 3,500 years and is a mix of many other beliefs and religions. It is considered a world religion, but is very different from most world religions. Most religions in the world. It has no single founder, but many great religious thinkers. They worship many gods and goddesses, so we call that polytheism. But they also believe in one spiritual power called Brahman. This force lives in everyone and connects everything. Some things that are important in Hinduism is the Upanishads. It's basically the religious text, kind of like a Quran or a Bible. They believe in reincarnation. And we have a little more on this, but basically it's a belief that when you die, your soul is reborn in another body. They believe everything has a soul, and you can come back as an animal, insect, or human. They believe there's this other important thing, their duties. They believe that their purpose is to be reunited with Brahman after many life cycles. In order to do this, they must live by their dharma, or their duties, and also practice non-violence. Very peaceful folk. They have multiple gods and goddesses. The three big ones are Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. Hindus practice yoga. We're all pretty familiar with yoga. Helps the soul and whatnot. Yoga can also take the form of a good deed for those around you. They also do a lot of praying. Many Hindus pray in temples and have offerings to the gods. Now, there's some things that we don't go into detail in the graphics that I want to elaborate on. So, the reincarnation thing, basically they believe if they follow their dharma, or their duty, and then they die, they will be reborn into basically a better life. So if they don't follow their dharma, or they're terrible people, then they go down. So if you're just a normal Joe Schmo middle class guy and you live your life well, you might be reborn into a higher social class. If you're bad, you might be reborn into a lower social class, or even as an animal or a bug. That's how it works, and they believe that after many cycles of reincarnation, you sort of reach this pinnacle where you stop being reborn, and instead you become one with Brahma and Brahman, and they compare it to like dropping a cube of salt in water, and you're the cube of salt. Water is Brahman, this great spiritual presence, the universal spirit, and you become part of it. So this is the first sort of religion we talked about, where you're reborn into the world, you're reincarnated. Pretty interesting stuff. Very colorful religion. Hindu today consists of, well, like we said, 15% of the world population. It is located mainly in India, but it's also fairly prevalent in other parts of the world, like Bali and Vietnam. You can actually see it here, broken down on the map. You see, oh man, there's a whole lot in India, and they're kind of spread out throughout the rest of the world, a little bit here and there. To learn more, there's a specific lesson that is the religions of India that covers in depth Hinduism, which we did today, and Buddhism, which we'll do tomorrow. But if you'd like to learn more about it, you can always peruse the internet. Check out YouTube for a video on the basics of Hinduism, or just check out Chapter 9, Lesson 2 in your World Studies book right here. Wow. Chapter 9 is the chapter on ancient India, so we will revisit this chapter, or we'll learn it eventually when we get there. somewhere in the middle of the school year. So that's it for Hinduism. You've got a quiz up next. Tomorrow we do the last religion of the world we're going to study, Buddhism. It'll be pretty interesting, and I hope you're enjoying the chapter so far. Let me know if you need anything. Have a wonderful day.